You know that feeling when a perfectly normal family dinner just explodes? Out of nowhere, it's a full-blown argument. Well, today we're going to break down a really simple story that shows us some deep truths about how those small frustrations can turn into big fights. And maybe more importantly, how a little bit of empathy can pull a family right back together.
I mean, it's a question we can all relate to, right? One minute, everything's totally fine, and the next, you're smack in the middle of a huge disagreement. So, through this one family's dinner, we're going to trace exactly how that happens.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off, as so many family dramas do, right at the dinner table. We're about to watch how one tiny little spark ignites a much, much bigger fire between a mom, a dad, and their two kids, Gattu and Chinky. And it all starts with this, a totally normal request, right? The mother, already a bit on edge about other things, calls the kids to come eat. But the kids, they're totally zoned in on their show, so they drag their feet. It's a scene that plays out in houses everywhere, but this little bit of friction, it's just the kindling. This slide just nails the dynamic, doesn't it? On the surface, the argument seems to be about who's going to help with a school project, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real problem is this massive, unseen weight of unspoken frustrations that's been simmering between the parents for who knows how long.
And here we go, the first real jab. The father's comment about the food might seem small, but in this super tense atmosphere, it is not about the salt. It's a passive-aggressive little shot that instantly pivots the conflict away from the kids and makes it a direct fight between the parents.
Whoa, the mother's reaction is so fast and so defensive, and her response, that key phrase, "you're always finding fault," that tells you everything. This isn't just about tonight's dinner. It's about a whole pattern of feeling unappreciated, and his one little comment just ripped open an old wound. And then, bam, the real issue just bursts out into the open. See, it was never about the TV or the homework or even the salty food. It was about a total lack of communication, about feeling left out of major decisions. That one sentence right there turns a little dinner tiff into a serious, painful fight. But here's the thing. While the parents are completely lost in their own world of anger, they've forgotten something really important. They're not alone. So now our focus is going to shift to the two people who are witnessing this entire thing unfold. And this right here really shows the collateral damage of a parent's fight. Gattu and Chinky are just sitting there, silently soaking up all that tension, all that anger, all that unhappiness. They've become the unseen, unheard audience to a really painful show. You can just hear the distress in their voices, but listen to their first instinct. It isn't to run and hide or to pick a side. No, their first thought is that they need to fix it. They feel this immediate sense of responsibility to put the piece back together that their parents just shattered. And this leads to the most heartwarming part of the whole story. Instead of just giving in to all that negativity, the kids decide to do something. They come up with a secret plan. Okay, Chinky's plan is so simple, but it's also kind of genius. It's a 3-step mission of reconciliation. First, they'll make 2 identical handmade gifts. Second, they'll sneak them into place as a surprise. And third, the clever part, they'll set it up so each parent thinks the other one is extending an olive branch. It's like emotional diplomacy in its purest form. So, the trap of kindness has been set. Now we get to the climax of the story, where we find out if this innocent, well-meaning little mission can actually work. This is the moment of truth. So the plan is in motion. First, the mom finds a gift on the dining table, and the tag says, "From Papa." At the exact same time, Dad finds the identical gift on his desk, tagged "From Mommy." For just a second, they're both confused, but hopeful. Did the other person actually apologize? And then they see each other. Both of them emerge from their rooms holding the exact same gift. And in that instant, it all clicks. This wasn't an apology from each other. This was an intervention from their children. And this is the lightning bolt moment for both of them. Seeing these simple, handmade gifts forces them to face a really harsh reality. Their fight isn't private. It has a real, tangible impact on the emotional well-being of their kids. That single act of love from their kids just completely disarms them. All that anger, it just dissolves, and all that's left is regret.
And look how fast and sincere their apologies are. They were triggered entirely by the empathy their kids showed them.
So, what can we pull from this simple little story? This final section is all about distilling the key lessons, the big ideas we can take away from this family's rough night. Okay, let's break down these takeaways. First up, you gotta learn to spot the difference between the symptom and the sickness. The fight seemed to be about salt, but the real sickness was feeling unheard. So crucial to find the real conflict. Second, never forget the collateral damage. Kids are always listening, and they soak up the emotional weight of our fights, even when we think they don't notice. Third, empathy is a circuit breaker. A simple act of kindness can totally stop a cycle of anger in its tracks. Fourth, and this is a big one, a real apology isn't a sign of weakness. It's how you win back your relationship. And finally, find a ritual for reconciliation. Just like the family goes for ice cream at the end, making time for some shared joy is a powerful way to reconnect.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Every family has its arguments, right? But every family also has its own way of making up. So I'll leave you with this question. What's your family's version of going for ice cream? What's that simple little thing that helps you all reconnect after the argument is finally over?